Hello and welcome to VLearn Virtual Learning Network. This is session 2 of Employment Relation, Evolution of Industrial Relation and Current Development. Topics to be covered: Introduction, Industrial Relation in India, Government's Role, Current Development, Industrial Relation Scenario, Issues and Challenges. Introduction. Yes, after having an introduction about all the approaches used in the industrial relation, this unit was basically having or studying on the concepts, or we can say that the more towards the rules and regulations related to the industrial relationship. And yes, at the same time, what are the phases, what are the rules, how it is actually implemented in the organization, and what kind of a effect they have in the industry. So in the introduction, in order to understand the issue and the problem associated with the industrial relation, it is desirable to study its various evolution phases. Yes, it is very much necessary just to get the understanding about issues and challenges, because the eras of industrial relationships gives us the ideas about what exactly the overall working, what are the impacts and effects of that. So in that case, it always lead you to have a better understanding about the industrial relations. So the growth of industrial relation in India, it is not at the same time it's very useful, but yes, it's very crucial also. It is not only used in India, it's used in the global perspective, and the various stages of industrial relation progressed from the primitive stage to the factory or industrial capitalism stages. So yes, there are few stages in which the overall working was done. So that comes into this unit. The very first is the industrial relation in India. If we talk about the Indian contribution, so the study of modern industrial relation in India, it is basically divided into three phases. The very first phase is when it is the commencement, or we can say that when it is considered as a civilized country, or we can say it is very much regulated by the British government. So that is the first stage. Second phase is the after independence, or the stage in which the independent was taken care. Third phase is represented by the post-independence era, that is after independence, what is the exactly situation of industrial relationship is. So if we talk about the first phase is more towards the British government was ruled. All the regulations, they are the ruling party, and everybody has to consider their rules and regulations. So in that case, it's largely in enforcing the penalties for the breach of contract. If you breach any kind of contract in your services, so it's always lead to have a penalties. Yes, at the same time, in regulating the conditions of work with a view of minimizing the competitive advantages of indigenous employers against the British employer. It is always related to the concept of minimizing the competitive advantage in the indigenous employers. That is what the employers who are very much related to the India, and they have the other very much different from the regular British employer. So they just need to minimize that kind of concept. Just to minimize this, they come up with the industrial relations. So for very first is they are regulating on that conditions. So the constitutional development in India leads to elect of representative of central and provisional legislations who took a leading role in the initiating social legislation. So they are basically taken a very initiative or leading role in that concept. The establishment of ILO was basically done in that time, that is in 1919. ILO was done the labor legislation. They more worked on the labor legislation and industrial relation also, that what kind of rules and regulation are required to be followed in the organization who are in the industry, and yes, at the same time, what kind of an relationship is required, what all practices must be done in the organization. This kind of rules are performed. So the emergence of trade union on India, particularly formation of All India Trade Union Congress, that is AITUC, that's All India Trade Union Congress, was the another particular party or the trade union on India, who was basically established in 1920. So the very first era, just to define the industrial relationship, ILO comes in a picture. They are more towards to minimize the conflicts between them and bringing out the better relationship in the industry. And yes, at the same time, they all are taken by the central and provisional legislations. The Second World War gives a new spirit in the labor field. So in that case, this will lead to the second phase of the industrial relationship in India, because after the Second World War, we can say that by the end of this, they will lead to the more differences, and that sprut is basically on the labor field only when the Second World War is wind up. So the expense of the war made is essential for the government to maintain an adequate content labor force for maximizing the production. That is just to maximize the production, and yes, bringing out the proper maintenance for the labor. This kind of concept was generated, and two things was considered. Very first is statutory regulation of industrial relation through a defense of India rules and the orders made thereunder. So in that case, whatever the orders was passed on, whatever the rules are created, they all are taken by the defense of India. And yes, at the same time, the statutory regulations of industrial relations must be there. Second is bringing all the interest together at a common forum of shaping the labor policy. It is always required to bring out the interest together. So tripartite consultation system was one of the most important development in the sphere of industrial relationship in the country. Yes, the tripartite consultation. Party consolidations is basically what to bringing out the consultative system who gives the solution at the different stages to who taken a responsibility to resolve all the conflict, all the issues related to industry. So that is what the tripartite consultatives. So they are mainly towards the faith of India and ILO philosophy and objectives also. So if we talk about the ILO philosophies and objective, the objective set before the two tripartite bodies are one in 1942. It is what? Promoting of uniformity labor legislation. That is, it should be balanced, it should be uniformed, and it must be promoted that everybody must aware about this. Laying down of procedure for settlement of industrial disputes. Yes, let down all the procedures, let down all the informations, and bringing out or come up with the settlement if there was dispute. Then other discuss of all the matters of all India importance as between the employer and employees. Yes, discuss on the matters which all are related for the organization, and it is required to be highlighted for the employees and employees. Now the third phase. After the independence, an industrial TOS resolution was basically adopted in 1947 at a tripartite conference. The conference basically emphasized the need of respecting the mutuality of interest between labor and capital. It basically recommended to the parties that the method of mutual discussions of all the problems common to both and settle all the dispute without recourse to the interpretations in or resolving down of the productions. So if we talk about the third phase is more towards the after independence or getting the independence. The India is more towards of settling the things and balancing out the things. So in that case, yes, they are more towards the adopted scenario. So in that case, tripartite conference, they come up with the solution. That is, very first is they emphasized on there should be a balance between labor and capital. There must be a mutuality of interest between both. And that means whatever the profit was generated must be distributed to the labor. Then no exploitation was there, no less salaries or less benefit was there. So it recommended to the parties just to come up with the problems and try to resolve this problem. post independence period of international relation policy, yes, after having that independence and yes, having a good control on the different things, the very first policy, or we can say the aim of this relationship, is to bringing out peace in the industry, bringing out the fair deal for the workers, then no kind of unfair deals or exploited deals, and yes, at the same time there must be a peace in the industry. And the government sought to achieve this aim through appropriate labor legislation also. There must be an appropriate labor legislation and labor administration and industrial adjudications both. So there must be a proper aim, that is, there must be proper labor legislation, labor administration and industrial adjudications. Now, government roles in the industrial relationship. In the government roles, the very first issue regard to the government role is the degree of state intervention. That is how much the state are involved in this kind of concept in the industrial development, how much they are focused. So in India, particularly after independence, the government has been playing a comprehensive and dominant role. That's very true. The government role is very dominating, very comprehensive, and yes, at the same time, we are into the mixed economy. Because of the mixed economy, we have a big players also, we have a big employers also who performed as in a good part in the economy. So in that case, yes, state intervention must be there, state control must be there. So industrial relation policies of the government form part of board labor policies. So 10 of these policies are basically into the national commissions of the labor. So there are the number of policies which are written down, jotted down in the National Commission on the Labor. So the very first point is to premise to maintenance of the industrial peace. They are also towards bringing out the industrial peace in the organization. Then another is encouragement of mutual settlement. Yes, this is what there must be. If there was any kind of conflict, there was any kind of a step taken care to resolve this, and yes, there must be or there was collective bargaining or voluntary arbitration was there. So in that case, mutual settlement must be there. They must be mutually settled. Then third is recognition of the workers' right to peaceful direction action strike. That is what, so bringing out the workers' right, recognize those, that what are the rights of the worker, what are the directions they have to follow, and yes, introduce them basically. Then another is tri-party conciliations. Yes, bringing out the tri-parties conciliations also, give them a proper counseling regarding that. Current development which are introduced in the industrial relations. So if we talk about the current development in the field of industrial relations, they are basically related to the structural change, acquisition and mergers, globalization, liberalization, technologies change. These are the change which are actually occurred, and yes, these are related to. So in that, the structural changes, the very main aspect of structural change is having an impact on the industrial relation system. That is, they are more towards the overall system of the industry, the change and the improvement in it. The overall differences was occurred, that is related to the structural change. So if we talk about the structural change, so the production reorganization and decentralized production making a thinner organized sector employment more thinner. So the larger size unit shifted to the flatter structure and opt for the decentralized decision making. So this is one of the changes in the aspect that companies are more towards the decentralized part. Companies become the thinner organized sector become more thinner, or we can say that they are more flat, more opened. Larger size unit become more flatter structure. They remove many of their positions and come up with the very decentralized decision making, very decentralized techniques. So in the structural change, the very first structure of the Indian industries are this. Then other is the globalization and technological changes proved disruptive for the system in the term of displacement of the labor. That is what if the globalization and technological change. This is again a change which impact the displacement of labor. which actually bringing out losses of job, they bringing out the destabilization in wage structure, they shifted in skills, occupation. So these are more towards the globalization and technological changes. At the same time, ascending in the managerial rights and weakening of trade union gives in a greater flexibility to the management in utilizing of the labor in handling the industrial conflict. They are more towards that the trade union are more weaker now. They don't have that much of rights, they don't use that much of facilities, and yes, at the same time this would utilization of the labor are more towards the management and side, and yes, it's handle the industrial conflict also. Another is mergers and acquisitions. The concept of mergers and acquisition is very much popular in the current economic scenario. So if we talk about the merger and acquisition, merger is when two companies merge together and form out the new, or acquisition is when one company acquires the another. So this is the another development which lead or bringing out the changes in the industrial relationship, or we can say that they lead to the further improvement also, especially in the economic scenario. But yes, it is related to the mergers and acquisitions, bringing out changes or the mergers or acquisitions betterment in the society. Then other is globalization. In the process of globalization, the power of trade union as measured by the trade union density has declined almost everywhere around the world, in developed as well as developing countries. They are more towards the part of the globalization. Globalization brings a drastic change, we can basically say that, because it is what introducing the new industries and give them an opportunities also to the trade union, specifically bringing out the trade union densities, and they come up with the almost with the new technologies, bringing out proper development. Technology changes, they are interrelations. Yes, technology change have again an impact. If technology changes, worker requirement differ. At the same time, the new concepts are arises. So the interrelation between technology change and industrial relation time, and again has focus on the attentions of the group in the society. They are more towards change in technologies, changes relationship, attention was shifted. So technologies have a more impact, and yes, at the same time they like issue like job securities, training reductions, and yes, at the same time proper utilization of manpower, this kind of issues was arises. And again, yes, there was a change. So all the three parties in the industrial relation are closely connected. So technology change are mainly connected to this kind of development. Then privatization is another one of the major element of structural adjustment process. It is what to bringing out the private organization, boost or help the private organization to contribute in your economy and lead the further industries. So in that case, this makes whole issues more socialized, more complex. We can say that in the scenario of labor issues. And yes, they were apprehensive about the privatization concern potential losses of present and future jobs. So somewhere, yes, there are the losses of jobs also, and percentage of losses of jobs are also increases. Now, industrial relation scenarios. Now, what are the scenarios to be considered in the industrial relation? The very first is, it is increasingly noticed that trade union do not normally give a call for a strike because they are afraid that a strike may lead to the closure of a unit. This was the first scenario which is related to the industrial relations, because trade union never able, or we can say that they never, at a very initial level, they never call for a strike. They don't want that strike will occur, because this thing probably lead to the closure of unit, because companies have multiple dimensions to perform their business and they have more work to be done. So they probably lead to the closure of one particular unit. Second is, service sector worker feel they have become outsider and are becoming increasingly disinterested in the trade union activities. Yes, trade union activities are more towards the labor side. They are not as specifically on the, we can say that the union side. They are not as specifically on towards the they are more towards the worker who are performing in the operational area, not towards the service sector. So in that case, they automatically feel disinterested. And there is trend to resolve the major dispute through negotiation at bi-party level. So yes, there are many trends to resolve the major disputes also. So worked on that trends lead more times to resolve them, and they are more towards bipartisan. Bipartisan level is more rather than tripartisan. Then attitude of government also towards the worker and employer seems to be undergone change. The attitude of government changed because permission for the closure and retentions are more easily granted. They more easily grant if there was any kind of retention or any kind of closure. So this kind of attitude brings out difficulties in the society, and yes, at the same time industrial relations also. So this is one of the scenario which affects and yes lead to the changes. Then other is the industrial relation machinery is not pursuing seriously the recovery procedure against the employers who could not pay heavy dues of the worker. If the financial position of the employer is very bad, so in that case, this is what the recovery is very much difficult from the employer side. Then another is labor adjudication machinery is more willing to entertain the concern of the industry also. So these are the few issues which are related to the industrial relations and give them the impact. Issues and challenges. In the issues and challenges that while having an industrial relationship, what are the issues and challenges was required and recognized. So in that, yes, it has been come under the pressure. That very first issue is what comes under the pressure to adopt a new environment that has emerged after introducing of this structural change under the economic reform. That is, it's always related to the impact of environment is very much as the environment change, it's keep on changing, it affects the structural change of the organization. And yes, under the impact of the restructuring process, it's all about while having a restructuring, it's always related to downsizing it. And yes, impact in the that cases also. So there are few questions which you have to do it by yourself. Very first is what are the factors responsible for the evolution of Indian labor policy, and second is what are the recent development in the field of industrial relation in India. So this is all about for the today's session. We are winding up here. Thank you so much. Happy learning. We learn.